Or something else entirely, General Zhang added. I do not believe we are being told the complete truth. Their suspicions grew when they reached the command center. Massive screens displayed the solar system, with thousands of red markers approaching from beyond Neptune. The Harvester main fleet, Theron explained, gesturing to the display. 3 months out, moving faster than we anticipated. We've adjusted our timetable accordingly. How many ships? Asked Harris. Over 5 million combat vessels, plus support craft. Nearly twice what we faced in our timeline. Theron's voice remained calm, but tension showed in his posture. How is that possible? Eliza asked. If they're the same enemies from your future, how could their numbers be different? Theron and Lyra exchanged a brief look before Theron answered. We believe our presence here has altered certain events. The Harvesters may have detected our arrival 12,000 years ago and adjusted their own plans accordingly. The explanation seemed reasonable, but Eliza noticed General Zhang's skeptical expression. Something didn't add up. As they returned to Earth, each visitor carried new knowledge and new doubts. In private, they compared notes. The Guardians have been nothing but helpful, Eliza admitted. The technology they shared has already advanced our science by centuries. But they are selective in what they share, finished Petrov. And their explanations sometimes contradict. General Zhang leaned forward. I propose we form our own group, independent of official channels. We continue to work with the Guardians while investigating their true motives. They agreed, creating a secret communication channel encryption using techniques unknown to the Guardians. Meanwhile, preparation for war continued at breakneck speed. Guardian ships helped deploy massive defense platforms in orbit. Cities constructed underground shelters. Militaries integrated Guardian weapons into their arsenals. Humanity was changing, adapting, unifying against an external threat. Yet beneath the surface unity, questions lingered. Were they being saved or manipulated toward some unknown end? In her private quarters, Eliza reviewed data she'd secretly copied from the Guardian systems. Most was encrypted beyond her understanding, but one file contained strange biological readings. The DNA structure shown had similarities to human genetics, but with significant differences similar to what she'd glimpsed in those medical bays. What aren't you telling us, Lyra? She whispered to herself. Who are we really preparing to fight? The first Harvester ships appeared near Jupiter's orbit on a quiet Tuesday morning. Guardian early warning systems detected them instantly. 3 massive vessels, each nearly the size of Manhattan, accompanied by hundreds of smaller craft. They moved with deliberate slowness, as if announcing their presence. In the newly established United Earth Defense Command Center beneath the Swiss Alps, military leaders and Guardian representatives gathered around holographic displays showing the approaching vessels. They're not attacking, observed Admiral Kennedy of the American fleet. They're holding position. Theron nodded, his silver features tense. A scouting force, testing our defenses. The gathered leaders watched as Guardian interceptors moved to form a defensive screen between Earth and the distant Harvester ships. For several hours, the standoff continued, neither side advancing or retreating. Then something unexpected happened. We're receiving a transmission, announced the communications officer. It's being broadcast on all frequencies. They're making no attempt to encrypt it. Theron's eyes narrowed. This is not typical Harvester behavior. In our timeline, they never attempted communication. The massive central screen flickered, and an image appeared. The beam displayed was not what anyone expected. Rather than the insectoid monsters shown in Guardian briefings, the figure appeared almost human, tall and lean with iridescent blue skin that seemed to shimmer with internal light. Its eyes were large and completely black, set in a face that conveyed both alienness and intelligence. People of Earth, it spoke in perfect English, its voice resonant and calm. I am Nexus, emissary of the Coalition. We have journeyed far to reach you. The room fell silent. They're trying to confuse us, Lyra whispered urgently to Theron. This is a deception. The being continued, "You have been missiled. Those who call themselves guardians are not your protectors. They are not even your descendants. They are shapers, an ancient species that manipulates developing civilizations for their own purposes." Murmurs spread through the command center. General Zhang shot a significant look toward Elisa, who had been invited as a scientific advisor. For millennia, the Shapers have identified worlds with promising species, embedded themselves within those civilizations, and guided their development, not toward freedom, but toward becoming organic components in their vast network of controlled planets. The being paused, its black eyes seeming to look directly at each viewer. "We can provide proof of our claims. Your moon has never been a natural satellite. It was positioned by the Shapers 12,000 years ago as an observation post. The ships it contains are not for your defense. They are for your harvest once your civilization reaches the appropriate level of development." Theron stepped forward, his voice commanding, "Cut the transmission. This is psychological warfare, exactly what we warned about." But President Liu of China raised his hand. "Let us hear what they have to say. We owe ourselves that much." On screen, Nexus continued, "We are sending a small diplomatic vessel to Earth. If you wish to learn the truth, allow it safe passage. If the Guardians destroy it, ask yourselves why they fear what we might tell you." The transmission ended. Chaos erupted in the command center. Some leaders demanded immediate military response. Others called for diplomatic engagement. The Guardians huddled together, speaking in rapid, hushed tones. Eliza found herself standing next to General Zhang. "This matches some of our suspicions," he whispered. "Or it could be exactly what Theron said. Psychological warfare," she replied. "But I want to hear what they have to say." After heated debate, a compromise was reached. The coalition diplomatic vessel would be allowed to approach Earth, but would be met in orbit by both human and Guardian representatives. The meeting would take place on the International Space Station, which had been significantly expanded with Guardian technology over the past months. Eliza found herself selected as part of the human delegation, along with General Zhang, Commander Harris, and representatives from other major nations. They launched aboard a Guardian shuttle, watching through viewports as Earth shrank behind them. "Be careful what you believe," Lyra warned as they prepared to board the station. "The Harvesters, or Coalition, as they now call themselves, are masters of manipulation." The diplomatic vessel that docked on the opposite side of the station was sleek and organic-looking, with a hull that seemed to pulse with subtle blue light. 3 beings emerged, all similar to Nexus, though with slight variations in height and the patterns on their skin. The meeting took place in the station's central module. Guardian and Coalition representatives sat on opposite sides of a long table, with humans in between. The symbolism was not lost on anyone. The lead Coalition diplomat introduced himself as Aryan. "We understand your cautious stance," he began, his voice melodic and measured. "You have been told we are monsters who seek your destruction. The truth is far different." From a small device, he projected images into the center of the room. Scenes of devastation, burning planets, and beings that looked exactly like the Guardians operating terrible weapons.